this back.
Yes.
Address and
Yes,
Twitter
it should be.
handle.
There was a presentation remote in here.
Okay.
Is that it?
Audio and
No,
everything.
it's a black one. Maybe this is the wrong
Did you say Twitter handle or email?
I have a question about this. I need name, email, and Twitter handle. You see how I'm, hang on a second. Can you pull something up just to make sure that my resolutions
that's
will
what I
take
thought
on
it
your
was.
square? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, the,
If I'm gonna come off the edge,
well, I mean, it's actually scaled from this icon to that icon on the screen, so it can't scale anymore.
Skytail.
okay, let me see. Oh, I
Mine
see
passed, but
what's
also,
going
I
on.
don't know,
You're
mine
really,
remembers
everything
from
is
last
stretched on
Thank
here.
you
Yeah,
so much.
I
You're
mean,
super helpful.
we're at the mercy of the resolution of the projector.
Is there any way of making a
Alright.
shoot?
What do you want to see? Because
Any
right
guys?
now,
No problem. Everything comes. I mean,
Nope.
what's
Okay.
on here is
All right.
showing up on there, but this is bad because now my screen is. I can't run it this way.
Close the browser, and then open it back up, and maybe the browser will resize.
Oh, I don't think so. Everything is stretched.
no, not to your screen. Just he's right now. Let the browser see how to bring that up.
And I'm using the most scalable. You know the no. Okay, hang on a second. And then if I pull out a little bit.
Make it smaller.
Okay, if I pull out, I'm okay. Probably looks better.
There you go.
Can you turn off the lights that are in the very front, Alex?
If they can.
Yeah, you can. You don't have to turn them all off.
There you go.
How's that?
I think that's good.
Is it? Yeah, that actually.
Kind of-
can
kind of
you
Twilight.
Sort of see that screen?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Unless you want to make it real dark.
No, real dark would be like very bad for me. No, put it back up. Yeah.
This is the dimmest.
Okay. Oh, we lost Holly.
you're all set to go,
Okay.
and you're recording too.
thank you. All right. All right. Let me get out my phone so I can look at my.
What do you need?
I keep forgetting that I put my phone in the safe zippered pocket. Ooh, right on time. Hello. Hello. I'm getting blinded by that. I'm over here. I originally envisioned everybody around in a big circle with their laptops, and then I realized that I really did want to show how I have a lot of different tools open at once when I host a Twitter chat. So I guess you guys are still, but you may look over at me sitting at the side anytime you like. I am Angelique. And does everybody here have a laptop or a tablet? And a phone? I own Angelique and Friends Marketing Communications, and one of the big things that I do is teach people how to communicate best on social media. And I have had the Ask Angel Twitter chat for 2.5 years now. I also have a new chat called Canary Chat that's a special subject about chemical sensitivity. And that's why I am teaching this class today, because as a Twitter chat host, I've had 2.5 years of experience. I have even longer experience as a Twitter chat guest, because I've been the special guest on many, many chats. And people say that I'm a great guest, I think because I was always very organized and I created my own questions, so I knew how the questions and answers would go. And so this is what I'm going to teach you today. I'm assuming that everybody here wants to host their own Twitter chat or wants to be a better guest. Am I correct? That's good. Now, do some of you have your own chats already? You're going to do them. You do have your own chat?
No, I don't have. I know. I said I want to do it. Like right now, I just use Twitter just to post stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. But have you participated in chats as a participant?
Here and there, yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a really important question. I want to make sure that I'm there.
How are you?
It took me like 5
I
minutes
got a
to go.
babysitter, so I'm like, I gotta make it.
Oh. I was so short-sighted today because I got in my contacts. Where is everybody? what I was gonna say is that it's very helpful if all of you have participated in chats before, have you? If you haven't, I might teach the class a little bit differently. Everybody's like shaking their heads like,
What do you mean
I've
by-
never been in a
What
chat.
do you mean by chat? Like, do you mean just talking on Twitter, or is this something more formal, more
It is
organized?
definitely more formal. It
Okay.
is the sort of thing where people all get together to discuss a certain subject or a certain hobby at a regular time. For example, there is media chat, I'm pointing over here, every week. And I already told you about my chat that runs every week. For a lot of the chats, they really are very formal. The people that run the chat think about beforehand, what do we want to talk about this week? And they often have a special guest who's an expert in that particular field. And they know the questions they're going to ask, like interviewing, but instead of just the guest answering, everybody talks. Everybody gets to ask questions and discuss when it comes to answering. That's the most common thing that you find when you have a chat. You can also have chats that are more free-for-all, talking about a particular subject. That's less common, but they're fun. People like to do that as well. So, who has chatted before? Yay! Yeah, you haven't.
Not in the sense of, hey, here's a topic, let's engage in this
Yeah.
manner. No, it's just normal threads, I guess, through
Oh, okay.
short discussion, but nothing that was organized.
Okay, if everybody raise their hand who is in the same boat, because I'm going to do something very quickly to show you so that you will not be lost completely.
I've never chatted.
You've never chatted before. Okay. Then, oh, this would be perfect to have a little laser pointer. I'm gonna
You get
do
your
some-
mouse.
Yes, that's true. You're looking, can you, oh, what is going on my screen here? See, it's in order to show this to you, my poor, okay, do
Just
you
shrink it
see
down.
everything? Yeah, it's like it popped back up again. You want it to be big. Okay, can you see my mouse going around here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that my mouse is circling a pound sign and the words Ask Angel? That is the chat hashtag. That is the name of my chat. And that is what everybody in the chat has to use in order to follow it. It doesn't matter what program you are using to follow the chat, and there are a lot of programs to use. This is the name of the chat, this is the hashtag that you use. So I want to just to point that out to you if you've never done it. The discussion doesn't exist without the hashtag. Without that, there's nothing. Nobody can follow what is going on. So now today, we thought that we would do something live, and it's going to be called TechPHX Angel, so that we can all get on and start talking to each other. So you know what I think? I'm going to kind of combine everything that I was going to tell the Twitter chat hosts and guests with showing you guys how to get on and how a chat would work. Does that sound good? So that you guys can follow that? All right, in this case then, I'm going to do a little show and tell with all of you guys who are new. I'm going to have you all do exactly the same thing that I am going to do. Those of you who are more experienced can do whatever you want here. Let me see if Ashley has come on. No. Okay. Go to this address, twubs.com. You guys do all know your Twitter handle, correct? You do, okay. And you're, you know what, while you're at it, also open Twitter and sign in. That's going to be very important. I'm really going to have to go out here. Okay. Everybody sign into Twitter and everybody come into Twubs. Tell me when you're there. Everybody Everybody signed in and everybody on the TWUBS website? Okay, on the upper right, hit log in. You guys, since you're not like don't have a TWUBS account, you're gonna go over here and sign in with your Twitter account. I'm actually going to sign in for real.
What's the difference?
Well, I have a username and a password and you don't.
No, but what's the difference between TWUBS and Twitter? Since we're going to go directly into the Twitter account.
Oh, TWUBS is one of those very, very many tools that you can use to chat. Like, for example, we used to
Tweet
chat
chat.
with TweetChat, yes. And I think you over here on the phone, you're chatting with Hootsuite, I remember you telling me. Okay, are we all here? Right there where it says enter hashtag, what you want to do is put TechPHX Angel. I don't have an official. Okay. So you don't have to look at the screen anymore until I show other things that I do at the same time yet. But what you see is you see just 3 tweets because this chat has never existed before. So you see that I was saying time to join us. I was telling our special guest from far away, and she is here. Okay, there's a reason that I had you go to this particular website in order to follow a Twitter chat. There are a lot of programs that you can use to follow a chat. Some of the most popular ones, this is a new one. A lot of people use a program called TweetChat. A lot of people use Hootsuite, TweetDeck, which can exist on your computer, and many others. I happen to like this particular one. I was going to tell you about it anyway, so we may as well, you may as well get the experience if you're brand new of using it. Here's the advantage of using this kind of thing. As the host of this chat, and those who you want to host may want to make note of this, when you use this service TWUBS and you are hosting, you can block all of the spammers. I don't know of any other service that lets you do it. If somebody is there spamming your chat, you just block them. Now, people participating in your chat using some other tool, they're going to see the spam. But everybody who is using this tool won't see it. So you can get rid of all the troublemakers. I think that is just this huge advantage that I really like, and it's one of the reasons that I like this one the most. Also, you have chat jackers. Sometimes these people are just jerky people who want to use your hashtag because they don't care. But sometimes you'll have people overseas that are using the same hashtag. It's really not their fault. They may have been, it's a foreign language thing and they're just using the same sort of thing. And you can block them too. So as a host, I would keep track of that. By the way, I didn't put any of my notes online yet. I figured it wasn't fair to you guys who had paid to come to the conference. Afterwards, I'll put all the notes of all of this that are online. Oh, look!
So with these conversations, are they, how long do they last? Is it the conversations that you start or you host?
Generally an hour. There's a special time, a particular time. Okay, so now everybody can, you can see here everybody that has signed in that is here, and you could actually join the chat as a member. No use doing it because this chat only exists for today. But let's start. Okay, you notice that when I clicked on it, automatically it said TechPHX Angel up there. If you guys click on it, it'll happen too. And beginning, and I'm going to tag some people. And
So only people using TWUBS can see this?
no, everybody can see this.
Okay.
Only people using TWUBS get rid of
The jerks?
Get rid of the jerks.
Oh.
Oh, hi, Alex.
I just sent you a message.
Yeah. Okay, there's another important thing that I just showed you. Did you notice that I just sent off that tweet, and now you can see it at the top here. For all of you listeners, what the heck? Did you notice a little @ symbol in front of everybody's name? People that are beginners at doing this often forget as well. Not only do you have to put the hashtag in order for everybody to see this, but you have to remember to put an @ symbol before their name, and you also have to remember the difference between doing this. Watch what I'm doing. And during a chat, of course, everybody's following it with the hashtag, but one of the things that you have to remember is that that goes directly to that person. If you put them first with the @ symbol, if you haven't used Twitter a lot, that goes directly to that person. If their name appears later on, then it becomes public and everybody can see it. If that makes any sense. Okay, just a little Twitter tip to remember all of that.
So theoretically you want to put EA first and then the TechPHX hashtag and then the other?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It's just something to remember as you're tweeting with people, particularly let's say that you want to say something to somebody on the side and it's not going to be on the chat, you're not going to use the did I put TechPHX Angel. If you're not going to have it with the hashtag, you have to remember what gets seen just by that person and what goes out to everybody, because if you want that one person to notice it, you want to send it directly to them.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say, now I'm going to go back into the part, especially for people that are hosting, that know a little bit more about it. This is what I do when I am putting a chat together. You'll notice that I have put here my @ section of Twitter. In this case, anything that has been tagged with my name, AF Marcom, is going to show up in this section of Twitter. So make sure that you put that, go back to your Twitter and make sure you're at the @ the interactions section. It'll be at the top that says @connect. I always have that open. Even if I'm using another tool, even if I'm using 2 tools because one of them is having technical difficulties, I am never without this right here. This becomes really important because I easily see people that are directly talking to me. I easily see if somebody is particularly interested in something. Because if they favorite me saying, we have a special event next week, a special guest, if they favorite information about when the chat is, I know I'm going to want to invite them. So I want to take a look at who the people are that are favoriting and retweeting things, and I also don't want to miss people talking directly to me. Remember, I'm hosting it. People are going to ask me specific questions. It's going to have that little @ AF Marcom, so I always have this open. Then, of course, I have my TWUBs, because that's how I'm going to follow this chat. I'm going to follow it using this particular tool. And here's another thing that I always have open. I didn't open this before because we were getting ready. I have my, wow, this is so funny that it is so stretched. I have a notepad open. Just for taking notes. I have a Mac, so I love Text Wrangler. Your Mac, your PC, whatever computer you have, it comes with some kind of note file. I am never without this thing open, and here is why. This is why right here. I don't know if you can read this, but here's where I make notes. Who participated? Who came because I invited them? Who followed me? In other words, who were my new followers that I invited to the chat and who came? Who just happened to wander in? Yeah. Who wandered into the chat? Who came from my other business? GBH is my other business. And which of my chat friends that I normally chat with that aren't on my regular invite list came in? that's a lot of people to keep track of. But it's really important because you can't invite the whole world every week. I mean, you would be like the Twitter spammer of the universe. I think I'm on the edge of being my chat Twitter spammer of the universe because I do more, I think, than a lot of the people do. I remind them the day before, I remind them the morning of. I think I'm like the queen of doing that. I don't know, I'm asking Aaron over there. And do I do more reminders than everyone on earth?
What's that?
Do I do more personal reminders than anyone on earth when it comes to that? I think I do.
Which is good because it brings people there. You know, a lot of people with their schedules, they don't remember.
They don't remember.
Sometimes, so it's good to kind of remember them, you know, remind them it's coming up, you join in.
It's a daytime chat, unlike his chat that's in the evening. The daytime chat,
Yeah.
people can easily go away. Anyway, so I keep track of all this so that I know who I'm going to do that. That's a huge reason. And here's another reason why I always have this open. I'm going to demonstrate this to you. As the people are participating in the chat, I'm going to start taking, this usually happens more when I'm a guest on the chat or just a participant in the chat. But I keep track of the people that I'm interacting with. So I'm just going to make this list up right now. Oops. Okay, so let's say that I've written down these people's names and a lot of other people's names as we've been chatting around. At the end of the chat, this is going to look familiar to you, I have this ready to go. I can paste this into Twitter, and I'm thanking them for conversing with me. And that list of the people is already there. Same thing with if they've got a couple of different guests and I'm not remembering their names, I already have it there. I copy it, I paste it right into Twitter, and there are the people that I want to thank and people that I want to remember. So that's another reason that this notepad is always, always open. I always have that going while I'm doing it. Another reason that the notepad is over is how many, characters do you get on Twitter? Anybody know?
140 or something.
So you only have that. And not only do you only have that, but you have to make room for the hashtag. You have to make room for your own handle, and you have to make room for people maybe to repeat it. So you can create some tweets beforehand and test them out. And then they are ready to go when you have to put them in. That's especially good for promoting what's going to happen next week. So your chat is almost over, and you want to say, next week we are doing this. That tweet is there. You know it's short enough for people to retweet. You know it's ready to go. And at the end of my chats, the 2 chats that I run, I let people promote their own stuff at the end. Well, I'm promoting my own stuff at the end too, right? So the tweets that I'm going to use for promoting are all there ready to go to be copy and pasted. So to do that. Any questions so far?
Is there any protocol or place where you have like the shorthand where you can go to and say, okay, this means this, instead of kind of reinventing and starting something where someone wouldn't know exactly what you're talking about?
Oh, you're talking about acronyms that people use all the time?
Exactly.
You usually, that is a good question because usually people learn by doing. In your case, you should come to my chat and his chat and everybody's chat. You should be like chatting like mad to know what it's like to do that. A lot of times, but of course you can always ask too. That's why we're around, because if you see something and go, what the heck is that? Or, if I say this, are people going to know what it means? And I should definitely ask.
I've seen the difference between like the younger generation, like WYD is what are you doing? I would have never known that unless I had a 17-year-old that could tell me exactly, okay, that's what that means, as opposed to someone who's, older like me that, okay, this means this.
You actually won't see that sort of thing, because and generally the chats that people are doing, a lot of them are based around business. They need to do something. Some of the chats that are the most popular is, what are the newest marketing tools? What about, how do I monetize my blog? There's a popular chat all about mobile apps. Mm-hmm. Programming chats, and then there's ones that have nothing to do with the computer, but they have to do with business. I mean, those seem to be like the really most popular ones that are out there. Okay. So you will find people will, but there are things that you'll know, like ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing, you'll see that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And also, I've been doing a lot of chats when it comes to people in the medical fields. And it's interesting to notice as a participant that a lot of them have fairly strict rules, stricter than the tech people will do. So for example, they may have, in a lot of the chats that I do, when people are really interested in marketing and, what is my screen doing?
Going to sleep.
Oh, actually my screen doesn't normally go to sleep. Okay, there it is. It's like, it just gets dim. The marketing people and the computer people and everything like that tend to have a lot of side conversations. They know each other. They don't just know each other from chats. They tend to know each other from meeting each other at conferences. And right under the hashtag, everything is just spinning and spinning. It is so busy with all the conversations. In some of the medical ones, they have a rule that you don't have any side conversations on the chat. That's where you talk to the people without the hashtag and you make sure you mention them. They will have, and there's even one that I do every week called Healthcare Leader. And in Healthcare Leader, they will actually tell people to slow down and not tweet so much, which sounds so weird. But they will have a particular, instead of question and answer, like I was telling you about earlier, the question one and answer one with an interviewer, they don't have special guests. They have a topic, topic one, topic two, topic three. And if people are just putting more and more replies to that topic, they'll say stop. Some of you have got to wait 5 minutes. So they actually slow their own chat down.
Okay.
It may not be something you run into, but what topic did you want to do?
Oh, I don't really, my Twitter handle is mostly, I do talk some business on there, but it's mostly for veterans and military and stuff like that.
You may end up wanting to do something like that, because what happens is, let's say that you were running a chat where veterans were talking to each other and it was more social, but you had a topic to talk about. That's where you kind of look and see, how do I take something that doesn't really have its own structure of interviewing, but make sure that there isn't just this flood where it becomes unmanageable.
Absolutely.
Now this particular tool, TWUBS, that we're using right now, like a lot of the tools, you can pause what is going on. Take a look at the top right here. I'm going to see where my mouse is going around, so just so that you know what part to look at, and look at it on your screen too. Now you don't have to look at the screen, you can look at your own screen. First of all, there's a button that's called Hide New Retweets. So anytime, you won't see the difference now, but that way if people really like a particular tweet and they keep repeating it and repeating it, because their own followers might be interested, your particular feed isn't filled with that.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. Also, you can change the speed. Notice how you can change the speed?
Okay.
And so what happens is, let's say that the chat was going very quickly and you slowed it down to medium or slow.
Are you slowing that down for everybody if you're hosting it?
No, it's just
Okay.
for you.
Just
This
for
is
you,
just
okay.
for you. So if you were looking at that, a little notice would come up at the top of the screen and said, you've now missed 120 chats. Do you want to go to the top, or would you like to pause everything so you can go scan down? So it reminds you, you may want to hit the pause button and catch up, or you might want to speed up. So that's another thing that I really like about this particular program. A lot of programs also let you pause and scan and that sort of thing, and they let you highlight certain tweets and let you highlight who the what the host is saying. But those are good for the people that are participating, but you as a host, that's really important to be able to do. And as a host, if you have a really busy chat, that's also why you want to have your Twitter open with the @mention, because that, bang, immediately you see the people just talking to you. And guess who you also see? The people who are new and have forgotten to put on the hashtag. That happens to me a lot. And Ask Angel, it's Ask Angelique anything. And some of the people, their question is, I've never been on Twitter before, this is my first time, help me, because they come to my chat to learn about that. And of course they forget to put on the hashtag, but I see them because I'm doing that in there. So I've been kind of going back and forth between hosting hosting tips, and for those of you who haven't ever chatted before. So for those of you who are new, let's do something. Okay, so let me quickly make sure going to ask everybody a question here. Okay, we're just going to practice doing this. It's going to say Q1. What is your... Yeah. What is your most pressing Twitter chat question? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. What is your most pressing Twitter chat question? Now, I'm going to send this. All of you should see this popping up, whatever you're using. If you're using Twubs like I'm suggesting or something else, it's going to show up in just a moment. Now, I want you all to answer that, but look what you have to put before it. A. Gotta put the A. Gotta put A. Not question, not a Q, but an A. Answer, answer, answer. So answer that for me, and we'll all see it. Okay, are some, aha, I see some of you. Okay. Okay, did everybody put in their questions? I've seen some come in.
He's got one, he's posting on mine.
He's- oh, okay.
Yeah, so he got one more coming up from my handle.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll start answering some of these that are going to do this. Now, I want you to look at something that is interesting, and this is just something for you guys to remember as a participant or to suggest to people as a host. Now, everybody here has, asked a question and they tagged it properly as an answer. Over here, Aaron asked me a question. I'm circling him on the top, and he made sure to put in my handle in the question. If he were participating in my special Ask Angel chat, that would be really important. Why? Because he wants to make sure that I see it. If there's a huge amount of conversation that's going on, I can always go back to my Twitter page and know that he has tagged me. So I want to make sure that you notice that if you need to make sure to get somebody's attention, particularly the host of a chat or somebody you're asking questions for. Okay, I'm going to answer some of these. Let's see. I'm pause at this point. And I think you'll forgive me that I'm going to actually just answer these orally for right now. Like going and doing all these, because normally my fingers would be flying and there'd be a lot of silence while I'm typing it, and that wouldn't be that good. So let's go through and answer some of the questions that you had there. Ooh, I think the person with now, she's actually online, isn't she? She's not in this room, correct?
They're in the green room.
Okay. She asked, will I be able to increase
Well, that's
the...
me. I'm not.
Oh, that is yours. Oh, yay.
Yeah, right, 'cause we call hockey.
You'd say, oh, that is you. I was looking at the bottom of the face. Okay. Are you able to increase the number of your followers?
It's something, I
Is
couldn't
that-
think of anything else to
Yeah.
ask.
Well, as a
I'm
matter of
capped at
fact,
2,000 people follow, and
yeah,
I can't follow anyone else.
you can't. Oh, you can't. That's right. They have that ratio that you can't follow
Yeah, I can't
anybody
follow.
else
So I
to
have
do
lists
that.
to follow people.
Well, as a matter of fact, even just participating in a chat helps you to get followed by people who really matter, like who care about what you're saying, because they know you. It's not just a bunch of robots following you, because that happens on Twitter, as you know, all the robots come and go, and
Yeah, I can pay for
everything
followers.
to do that. So what happens is that if you're hosting a chat or even participating in a chat, people then, want to follow you because they're like, oh, I know this guy, I might be interested. So yeah, it's not just a matter of getting followers, but like followers that actually mean something in your life.
Well, I mean, I want to follow more people.
Right, well, that's also the
So
same
you're
sort
saying I
of
get more
thing.
followers than I
You'll get more followers and that, but everybody may want to know that
take
for
it
like
to
for
fan.
your group or for your business and everything. Those would be followers that actually matter. Unlike, I don't have this huge amount of followers compared to some people, but it's interesting that there's like, you can see the robots come in and out every day, and my regular followers stay, which makes me feel really good. So if I have just a few thousand people who are following me, it's not like I'm the most popular person in the world, but a lot of those people are really steady and have stayed for a really long time. I haven't bored them yet. Obviously, I'm saying something that they like. And then I can see every week, there are about 20 or 30, the robots are there for just a day and they disappear, and a day and disappear. That's when people are buying what they do is they follow me hoping I'll follow them back and buy their product, and it never happens, so they drop off. Okay, the next, that was your question, how do I control the conversation? Somebody, way over there, was that your question, how do I control the conversation? Oh, I don't know who, okay, I'll have to answer that off of that. Let's get to the people that are in the room here. There were two from, what? Are you talking about what tweets in your chat, or are you talking about just in general?
Like, how do you, I've seen some, some Twitter handle that they could post, this chair in class is so comfy, and they'll get like 1,000 retweets, and it's just, like, some of the stuff is just, it boggles my mind how people repost it or they get engaged, and maybe it's just the personality, but
It's definitely the personality. Let's say that you are in a classroom and you know how uncomfortable it usually is, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like relaxing to be in this classroom. Like, everybody's going to agree, and so everybody's going to retweet it. People retweet stuff and favorite stuff that they agree with. So that's exactly it. And you're like, but I had something really important to say. But the interesting thing is sometimes when you have things that are really important to say, you've actually said it to the end reader, if that makes any sense. Like if you think it's really important, you have a veterans group, right? And let's say there's some kind of like fabulous veterans benefit that's going on this weekend. Like, it's like veterans can like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing that veterans can come and do. They may not have any other veteran friends on Twitter to pass the message on to. So you're like, well, why aren't they passing on this fabulous thing? Well, you've actually reached the person you wanted to reach.
Okay.
So you could really tell more by people that are favoriting that so that they won't forget it. That might be. Now, they may feel like they want to be altruistic and pass it on just to the general public, because some people love to pass on information, but some people don't. Some people are on Twitter a lot more limited. Hello.
Hello. Let's come up.
That's okay. Do you have something to tweet to chat with? A pad or a laptop or something?
If my iPod.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So.
And do that. So that's how you would do that. And then you asked, using Twitter for, see what happens with Twitter is you get to know people that way. It's definitely your content marketing tool, that sort of thing. So, but basically you want to find people who are eventually going to buy your product, correct? So now if it's, now this is interesting, is this like retail or e-tail?
Software.
Oh, it's
Like marketing
software.
automation software.
What kind of software?
Marketing automation software
Okay.
to help manage inbound and outbound marketing.
So what would happen is that, you know, what is different about your software than other people's software? You want people to know that. You definitely want people to know that it's good. So you want to be able to converse about this. This is where it is definitely worth your while to, first of all, start participating in Twitter chats regularly with people who are interested in that sort of thing. It could be people that are e-tailers and they have, or marketers, they have an online business. And it could be people that are very techie sort of people. But first of all, figure out how Twitter chats work and then become a guest on something, because there are Twitter chats that are especially filled with people that might be interested. Oh, marketing software? I want to learn more about more marketing software. You know, they want to know about that. And so you're not just advertising the product, but they're talking to you as the, are you the salesperson or do you develop it?
Salesperson.
You're the salesperson for that sort of thing. So it could be that what you really need then is some of these chats are going to want to talk to the actual programmers or engineers, because they're going to want to know that. In other cases, there might be somebody else involved in the company, maybe a couple of you that want to be guests on a chat. After that, they can keep talking to you. This is if you're on Twitter all the time. It helps a lot if you're there, you know, if you're actually there talking to people. If you do your guest turn and then kind of disappear, you've done your guest turn and they've known about it, but then if they have questions about it, they can't reach you again on Twitter. They want to reach you again on Twitter because that's where they met you. So you're kind of, you know, committed to then talking to the people on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm barely on Twitter, and I just because it's, I'm more of a kind of a LinkedIn kind of guy in terms of, you know, reaching out. But you know, I know there's a lot of success finding people. You know,
I can't tell if it's going to be useful to you or not until you do it, because I don't know exactly what this software is. But it's going to take, the cost for you is then time, and not just time right then. It's not just time, oh, I'm going to learn how to do this and I want to, you know, be a special guest. But in that case, the time to also be there regularly for people who ask product questions, because they remember that they saw you there, so what are they going to do? And then if you're not on a lot, it looks bad. They're like, wow, you know, he was telling us all about this marketing software on Twitter. We think that he's all into it, and why hasn't he been there? You know, so it's deciding whether you want to be in that community.
Yeah, I get that. Last question is, are there, I don't know much about Twitter, but are there groups within Twitter to talk about certain things, or is it called conversations?
Well, that's what the regular chats are. The regular chats get together. Now, some of the chats actually do have their own Facebook groups associated with it. Media Chat has its own Facebook group associated with it, and of course people can talk about whatever interests them that brings them to Media Chat 24/7 on a Facebook group. So that'll happen as well. So and I couldn't even tell you all the marketing groups that might be on Facebook. There's a lot of them, and I probably only know a certain amount of them because I'm in marketing communications, if that makes any sense. I'm telling people how to do the message. If you're talking about, okay, we have to develop the product and we have to track it, and how much should it be cost, and what's the cost for acquiring those kind of people, they may have a ton of Facebook groups and I wouldn't even know. Yes? Oh, you're doing that.
Okay.
But I do have a question.
Yes.
Is there a place where a central location where you can find out all the different people that have chats?
There's no one central place to do it. There are many different websites. I shouldn't even say websites. People have made various Google Docs, and people have made various lists. And you know, anytime somebody wants to do a one particular list, because there are thousands of chats that come and go, so you really have to check the 3 or 4 of them that are that are the most popular, and you have to keep checking them all the time.
Or do I do a Google or a Bing search?
That wouldn't work. You wouldn't find it with a search that are like that. Okay, so it's funny that I'm teaching a Twitter thing, but I'm answering it like this, but yes.
I wanted to say, how do you create a chat on Twitter? If you want to create your own chat.
Well, that's actually what we were doing right now. I was
Oh, okay.
showing this
Okay.
go-to, here, it's on the screen, twubs.com. Go to that website right now, and this is the tool that I would really like to do this. Okay, let's get back on this thing, everything, and we kind of, things are different because I ended up with a lot of people who haven't chatted before, but now I have to answer these questions, so it's a little bit different. Did you have a question?
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you recommend registering the hashtag?
Oh,
You have
definitely.
that.
See, the thing, normally you can't quote unquote register a hashtag because any hashtag can be used for anything, but on Twubs
Yeah.
you can. So yeah, that's the thing. You register it and then you can protect it. You can say, you know what, I'm going to block people from seeing this or using this hashtag on Twubs. It's only within Twubs.
Okay.
But you can do that. Do that. Let me put something to everybody then. I was just telling the people that are looking at it online that we were talking about this orally, that it's sort of to do. Okay, those of you that had, I want to make sure I'm not missing my hosting tip, people. So you know what? I'm going to pull this up because now I want to go back to the people. Where did it go? Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? I may have just put it on here. With my questions that I was going to put on. Huh. Well, that's interesting. When we're done, I'm going to be putting things up online, but I can't find it. Teaching. Not sure why they're okay. Note to all, beware Twitter jail. Okay, I'm going to be back to some of these things for those of you that are hosting it. You know, Twitter only lets you have so many tweets per hour. And I think that they screw around with that. Do you know what the limit is?
I think it's gotten better. I haven't gotten put in there for a while, but it was like 1,000 tweets.
Yeah.
Or no, not 1,000, 100 tweets per person or something.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
it's gotten better.
As a host, yeah. So as a host, you can end up running afoul of that. So you need a secondary account. You absolutely do. And in fact, I have a secondary account that is, it actually says, let's see, Angel Jail, I think is what it is. Let me see if I can try to remember what it is. I'm not sure if this is it. No. Yes, there it is. There I am in jail. If for some reason AF Marcom got filled up with stuff, I have other ones and I have this one. So this is what I would use if so you definitely need a secondary Twitter account if you get put in jail. Oh, I haven't been in jail. Ashley says she hasn't been in Twitter jail yet.
Is that 100 tweets like in an hour, or is it a time span, or is it?
Pretty much, yeah, because some people like to go to 2 tweets, or there may be a tweet chat this hour, the next one switches over to another one, so you're just constantly tweeting.
Okay.
And yeah, it happens a lot of the time.
Is that like a 24-hour period where you can't?
It's like a small period, but then it opens up the next hour, and then you can go back and
then
tweet
you can
again.
get
It's
back
pretty
on.
quick. But yeah, it'll shut you down. You're like, now what? So it's good to
Yeah,
have.
you have to do that. Where did I go? Oh.
Does it matter how long each tweet that you send, does it matter how long it is, or it still counts as a tweet?
It counts as a tweet.
Pretty much.
One word?
No, I don't know if that counts. I've always thought about it, if it counts retweets or, you know.
Oh, I think it does.
I think it does, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it matters if you favor somebody.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another thing that you're going to want to have as well. And another thing that you're going to want to have is a special Twitter account just for your chat. And one of the reasons for that especially is for inviting people. Because if you are specifically tagging people and inviting them over and over, especially if you have a newer account, Twitter gets very unhappy to hear about that. The interesting thing is that I never have ever had Twitter give me any problem with all the, sometimes if I'm doing a special Ask Angel thing, like when I did the birthday one, and I'm like inviting like 50 people, 60 people, they've never shut me down for it. But I have had the AF Marcom account almost since Twitter began, and I've been using it steadily every single day and have same steady followers, so they figure I'm not a spammer. Now the interesting thing is that I have a new chat that I was going to be starting. I started at the beginning of the year. And the accounts that I use to invite people to are constantly getting dinged by Twitter for inviting, maybe if I invite 12 people in a row or something, they are really worried about spamming. So as Angelique and Friends Marketing Communications, I'm considered cool by Twitter. But the new things that I have, the new accounts, they weren't considered cool by Twitter. So you really have to, if you're inviting people to it, you have to make sure that you're following people and people are following you from those invite accounts. And you have to make sure that you spread it out over some different accounts, you know, because otherwise you are, even though it's not buy my stuff and follow me, it's, you know, Twitter doesn't know. Twitter's just a robot. It's just a computer, you know, it doesn't know the difference. So here I was just showing you that I do have, when I send out my reminders the morning of the chat, I send it out from this, my Ask Angel chat, rather than my regular Twitter account. So I'm just going to put this to special account for your chat. Okay. Here's another really important thing for all of you, even if you've decided after this, oh my gosh, I can barely figure out what she's talking about with participating in a chat, so I'm not sure I'm going to host one, but you want to participate in one? Here we go. Does this look familiar to anybody? Yes. Short links, bit.ly. I cannot emphasize enough, and I just say this as a very long time chatter. I have been on Twitter for a long time, even longer than, you know, if you look at AF Marcom, you say, oh, well, she's only been on Twitter for, I don't know, what does it say, a couple of years, 2008, 2009. I was on with a different handle, just personally writing twiku to my friends even longer than that. I cannot emphasize enough, I don't care if your little tool on your phone or whatever looks like it's shortening its links, you need to really shorten your links. Really shorten your links using bit.ly, or maybe Hootsuite has a tool or something. Shorten them for real. Because what happens is it really does affect how your tweets look and how people can read them and how they behave. So I always say, have this open. If you want to do a good deed for somebody and they have linked to something where they have like 2 words, like look at this, and then they've got the giant link that's all using up there, and anything that they have after, you know, and you think that you really, you know, you really think that that's good information that should be shared, take that URL, put it into bit.ly and shorten it, and do it. Just do the altruistic thing and help them out. But you don't cause a problem for, you know, a confusion for somebody else. Make your short link. Now the cool thing about making a short link, first of all, if you have a little bit.ly account to your own, you can follow them, but you can even make them, you know, customized like I do. Mine are afmkt.us. I have my own custom domain for short links, and your business may want to do that. But whatever it is, make a real short link. make real short links. It's just a huge pet peeve of mine, but for good communications, you really, really want to do that. And you'll get fast at it. I often have bit.ly just up, as I'm doing it. I've got all the stuff that is up to do.
I have a question. Directly under the pause button.
Oops, I'm sorry. Yes.
Directly under the pause, when you put your mouse over it, it has, no, under pause, below it, right there.
Okay.
You've got these arrows. Now, what are those arrows?
Oh, it should pop up when I mouse over them,
When you mouse
because
over.
there's the retweet. I'm sorry, there's the reply, the retweet, and the favorite. Now, the interesting thing is usually those do it, but I'll tell you what this looks like to do that. If I'm hitting this, it's just saying I want to reply to that person, and then so they've put my name up at the top, so I'm going to reply to that. The same thing happens with, no, I guess you do have to hit the little button. If you hit the retweet button, they actually copy the entire thing that is going on. See the difference? So if they'll copy that for you. And of course, the favoriting will actually favorite, and it'll not just favorite it here, it'll favorite it on Twitter too, because it's connected to your account. So, okay. Ooh, I just noticed the time. So here's what I want to say.
You have a question here.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to get an idea of like numbers from you guys, like, because I can't type that fast. I'm not. How do you keep up with it? Like, how many people are on it? How often are you tweeting? Like, you have an hour set and you're going on here and you're replying to everyone? Like, what are some numbers?
Because it goes so fast.
Yeah.
You mean how do
Keep track of everything.
Yeah, how do you keep up with it? And how many numbers?
Wait, how do I keep up with everybody?
The chat.
Okay,
No.
now this is why I have so much stuff opening, especially if I'm in a fast chat or if I'm a guest, like a media chat, and it's like going really fast. For me, it requires total concentration. As a participant, you may not need that, but it really does need that participation. And my husband right here.
But if you're
He can
hosting
tell
it,
you that
you're
if
like-
I'm he used to participate, and somebody would send a video, and I'd like, shut that off. I couldn't hear. I mean, I've got to be in silence. I have got to be concentrating. But this is why I have the things open. I have my thing going through. I have Twitter open so I can see when people are mentioning me. I am constantly reminding me, if you want my attention, you've got to mention me, because I'm not going to see everything. There's no way to
So
see
you replying
everything.
on the spot? I mean,
Well,
you could-
Yes, I'm replying on the spot. But what happens is that I see they've mentioned me, and then I can reply from here, or I can reply from Twitter, and I'm making up the answers as we go along. And if you were in my Ask Angel chat, and I want everybody to be in Ask Angel next Tuesday, I want you all to do it. If I will say answer for. So if you ask me a question, I will repeat. I'll say question from this person, and then I will put answer for this person, and I will have that same phrase, answer for this person, over and over till I'm done answering you.
So you could go over your allotted time.
What do you mean by allotted time?
I'm saying, like, if you have 10 questions coming at the same time and you're typing it and the hour's done.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see
people-
what you mean.
that's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
piece of
okay. Now
it.
that would be. I see what you're talking about. That hasn't actually. That doesn't usually. You know how that happens to me is when people join the chat halfway through and then my time is done. You know what? If my time is up, it's up because let's say that my daughter comes home and says, "Okay, Mom, we got to do something." My time is up, but I often hang out after the chat. I have a daytime chat, and I can
Okay.
do that. Now, if you have a chat that's in a row with other chats, and you know that people right at 8 o'clock, they're going to leave to go to the 9 o'clock chat, your chat is over. You haven't answered, that's it.
Okay.
Were you going to say something?
No, that's exactly right. I had to cut off people certain times, because it is one after another chat at nighttime, but day's a little bit more open.
Yeah.
But there's transcripts too that you can do that you can actually go back through and kind of see.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
hash tracking tools that.
I didn't get to go over those because we were kind of going over, we had different sort of things, but that is true. Not only can you see a transcript of the chat, I think you always use hash tracking, but with Storify you can customize them and actually make your own comments on the chat and add even more things into the transcript that you're going to do.
I want to add something because she's the expert and I'm the novice. And as a novice, you have to read fast. You don't have to type fast. You're reading fast, you're trying to follow, and you only answer some of the question. Like right now, if you're a participant, you might want to respond to someone, ask somebody a question. So you'll just pick and choose which ones you want to do, but you can't keep up. It's too hard to keep up with everything.
Use every tool that you're available to make it easy to read. I bump everything up so, I mean, people, so when I take screenshots and I write blog posts, they go, wow, why doesn't it look like that on my computer? And I said, because I hit Command+++, and I use Firefox as much as I can, because Firefox will make it not scroll side to side, but they'll bump up the text and it'll stay square. I won't use something that's hard for me to follow. So I will do all this. Did everybody write down their name and Twitter handle on the piece of paper? Okay, I'm inviting you all to Ask Angel next Tuesday at, it's going to be at noon our time. So, yep, noon our time. Ask Angel, you can chat with me. I'm going to, after the chat, I'll answer these guys' questions and everything so you can see it. So I know they'll be kicking us out of the room and everything. So okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, thanks, Jay.
Yeah, so she does great doing it now.
No, she's actually here.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Where? Okay, I saw her last year.
She was over, she's in Shannon's thing. I was gonna say, you look familiar. I don't know if we've met before.
It was my third year here.
Okay.
I don't know, I know Christina for over 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.5. So, but she does her radio show at your.
Yeah, my
Okay.
studio, yeah.
Because I knew, yeah, it was on there and I was like, I know the name.
Yeah.
And, so that's cool. So she knows who's doing it today then.
They just
glad
Well, it turned out different than I expected, but.
Well, it's actually over now, but we just took one of our old shows and threw it on. It's,
Yeah, well, no, I know.
I was gonna do
There's a
it.
lot of
what's that?
That's like a
Yeah,
favorite.
exactly. So,
That's
startup
cool.
stuff.
My name's
That's
Kathy.
what I do, like, when I'm
Nice to meet you.
like the chance and
And,
everything.
so you do a radio show
I've done a lot of
often,
those,
or?
like,
we
ready
do
to-
ours every Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
Otherwise,
I do a
I do a
template.
response,
9 to 11.
and the response is like
And you have
way
guests.
longer
So we
than
have guests
on
that come
characters
on
you could put on Twitter. So
talk
like
about
I
it. We gotta keep it short, short, short,
I preload a lot of my
we got a
initial
studio out in
answers and everything. That's why I
Philadelphia.
put them up so
Oh, wow.
I do that every Saturday. I have my homework on there, on the Twitter chat, like putting the questions. And it's like a template. Like you said, you go through it, you hit it.
I like it better than
we have a whole bunch of shows
ideas
up
that
there.
people can put in the
Saturday, so
program. That's what we've seen.
Fill in time slots and stuff like that. But,
I know.
It's like, like, why would you
So is
want
it
to, I don't
open
know what it's
format?
like.
No,
Why
it's-
would you want your computer not
it's
to
'cause she
explode?
does
And
her
everybody
show.
actually, and they don't leave the chat, they say, well, you don't want your
Yeah.
computer to explode
They
because
talk about
it's,
us,
I'm
you
like.
know.
There's
And
no
I
limit.
generally
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
the
but no
chat.
limit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how to
Certain
come
questions.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? You know, I was like, one here, I'm like, man, I'm blushing here. You're talking about this,
I
but
know.
it's basically.
Well, like, let people know front.
Exactly.
Listen.
So have you been here before to these? Or?
No,
Yes,
it's not
I have.
just,
Yeah,
this is my first time.
I got one show
I taught last
that
year
talks
too.
about beer, one is sports, one is comedy.
So how
So
you
do you
doing?
rent it out or have you?
Good.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's,